So, I have my computer in front of me and I'm going to do my skincare and a little bit of makeup while I talk about these things, but I hope that you guys enjoy the video, and yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna put a trigger warning here. We are talking about a lot today. We are talking about some things that might be triggering to people, like women's health. We're talking about periods. We're talking about sex. We're talking about toilet issues. We're talking about mental health, body issues. Yeah, like possibly, I think there might have been a question about suicide. So just, yeah, trigger warning. We're talking about everything. So again, if you're not comfortable, this is your last chance to click off the video before I get into it. So I'm gonna remove my glasses because the lights are annoying, and I'm gonna do my skincare. So I've already done like a wash. My skin feels very dry. Right, first thing is stigma / thoughts about how women's health is handled in healthcare. Feel like we get a lot of judgment for common health issues and are treated differently, at least in the States. It's not just in the States. I live in Australia and we have the same issue. Women's health is very disregarded. Unfortunately, that is the truth, and that sucks. It honestly, like, I can go so deep into this, but I won't go too much into it. But it is so hard to diagnose women's health issues, and I'm no professional, but I'm pretty sure that's mostly because a lot of these tests for example, ADHD and all of them were done on men, and we have different symptoms, if that makes sense. So also, like, endometriosis is very, very, very much swept under the rug. It's never talked about, and it is extremely hard to get a diagnosis of that in particular. Even with Crohn's, which is what I have, which is, if you're new here, it is a digestive issue, pretty much from my mouth to my butthole. That whole thing is a mess, and there's so much more to it, but just like briefly, that's what's happening. And to get that diagnosed was ridiculously hard, and in my case, compared to a few other people's cases that I know of, mine was easy and obvious. So I got diagnosed after having like 3 or 4 surgeries already. Yeah, I don't like how women's health is handled in healthcare, and I feel like it is something that is getting better, but I feel like it'll take time because people don't like change, unfortunately, which is something that we need. Okay, next, I completely understand that there is a massive difference between Crohn's and IBS. severity of Crohn's is sadly a lot more debilitating. False. I do not agree. I have Crohn's, and I know a lot of people who have IBS, and depending on the Crohn's you have, and depending on how severe your IBS is, it's all shit, if I'm being honest. All of it. It sucks. Like, why do we have to go through that? It makes no sense to me. So it really depends on the case, because someone could have a very mild case of Crohn's and have next to no symptoms but have the gene. But then someone could have a really, really, really intense case of IBS, and that would then be worse than Crohn's. Their Crohn's. So it depends. You really can't compare any two medical cases ever. Like, you can't compare it. Even comparing Crohn's to cancer, you can't compare it. Like, it's not fair to compare it. Now to the actual question. Yes, absolutely, it is a relationship and intimacy killer. It is one of the hardest things to balance in a relationship. Now, the person who asked this question is 25 and finds themselves avoiding things friends do easily. I'm exactly the same. So I'm turning 24 in June, and I get it. We live a whole different life. We don't have as many options that other people do, and honestly, I think it's more so about finding the right person. For example, if you look at my partner KJ, I am absolutely blessed to have that king in my life. He is honestly the standard. He's the standard everyone should have. Like, he is incredible. There's not one bad thing I can say about him. Like, he's just the most supportive person on the planet for me. Like, so you need to find someone who is super, super understanding, and that's definitely not an easy job. Trying to find someone when you have already been diagnosed, you already have these issues, is so hard. Honestly, you'd probably have a better chance of finding someone who has the same issue, because they would be so understanding, you know. I find that IBD kills my libido. There is no sex drive. I don't have that. Like, I just don't. Like, I for a while thought I was asexual, but I don't think I am. I think that my body is just too exhausted. It's too busy thinking about handling the disease and handling all of the symptoms and everything like that. It's just way too stressed out to even think about wanting to have sex and doing anything like that. So I feel like if that's what you're talking about with finding yourself avoiding things that your friends do easily, I fully understand. Even just like going shopping, I can't keep up. Like, I'm too tired. And yeah, I hope that you kind of got a sense of, like, you're not alone with this, because there is no real answer for it. There is, I guess, no proper advice I can give you, just my opinions on, like, that you're not alone, because there's not a lot of things you can do to get those things back. You just have to, I guess, accept the fact that you live a different life, and there are people out there like me who are living a similar life, and you can still be happy doing that. Okay, the next thing, your opinion on social media, and how do you personally manage tough days? Opinion on social media. Sometimes it's a bit toxic, depending on what side of social media you because someone in Egypt from Australia is the coolest thing ever. I do always have to remind myself that everything you see on social media is, it is the good things of people's lives, and not necessarily the bad. Like, for example, the other day I shared a video on my story on YouTube and Instagram of KJ doing my injection for me, and I, to be quite honest, was like so scared. And that was the fourth one I had, and I was literally terrified of the needle, and I didn't look good, I didn't feel good, and I still shared that because I thought people should see it, because you guys see me on my channel. I'm not always doing the best, but most days I'm doing pretty good, and you guys are always telling me how amazing I am and how great I look, and in reality it's like, well, about an hour ago my boyfriend had to inject me. Like that's not, like, I'm not happy all the time. Which then brings us on to the next question: how do you personally manage tough days? I honestly, I don't know. I'm not very good at the mental health kind of stuff. I'm still trying to figure it out, I guess. For my tough days, I kind of just like switch off and play games, or, I mean, if I can, I just like try and switch off, and I just stay on my phone for hours watching funny videos or nice videos. And yeah, usually when I have a really tough day, a few days later I'll have like a big self-care day. I'll do my skincare and like do a mask, a hair mask. I'll like actually wash my hair, because I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm in like a really sad period, I just like don't even want to shower. Like, I won't get up, and I'll get up to take Sophie for a walk, which is my dog, and I'll feed her, and I won't move. Like that's kind of gross. I'm like admitting on the internet that I like will not get up and shower, but that's just how it is. Some days, like, some days I just can't, and I feel like that's not a, I feel like a lot of people go through that, but yeah. Anyway, let's grab some of my makeup out before I get onto the next question. I think today I'm not gonna do like heaps of foundation. I think I'm literally just gonna do like concealer and some powder, and just like stick with the glowy base that I've made with my skincare in the last 15 minutes. Okay, next question. Do you have any female role models, and if so, what attribute? Why can I not read? What is this? Attributes about them do you admire? For example, style, career, kindness, intelligence. Wait for it. Annabelle. She is incredible. Actually incredible. I've been following Annabelle since she was around like 20k. I remember the day that she hit 26k on Instagram, and I've been following her for the longest time. And if you're one of these people who have just started watching her and you don't know where she came from, go all the way back and watch, because she has one of the most incredible stories. She is just the kindest person I've ever seen, ever. I can't even believe that she lives in the same city as me, to be honest. Like, she's just amazing. Aside from absolutely adoring her style, I respect her career a lot. I think she is real game changer in that industry, and I think that she breaks a lot of stigma around it, and I think that is really amazing, and just like, honestly, it's incredible. She's also so smart, the way she just does everything. You know, she never has taken social media seriously, even though it's her job, and I really, really look up to that, because I think she once said that once you start taking it seriously, it seems forced, and I have like taken that with me through this whole journey so far, because if it seems forced, you lose the love and the spark with it, you know. So yeah. Next is experiences of living with a chronic illness while having a romantic life. I kind of spoke on this before, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I will say that I have it different to a lot of people, because I was with KJ already for 3 years before I was before I even like had any symptoms. So we were already in love, and I already knew he was my soulmate. And he just stuck by me. He stuck by me, which was so important to me. So I think, again, you need to have a partner who is really understanding, and if they're not, then they're not the right person for you. Next is advice. If people lack motivation, and how could you deal with it? Why is this tea like white? Anyway. Why is it like white? Anyway. And also struggles with body image, and how you could try to get over it. I am not the right person to answer this question about body image, because I have serious body image issues at the moment. Like, I have an obsession at the moment with looking at liposuction before and after photos, and I'm like, I need to save my money so I can get liposuction. I don't even need liposuction, but I want it so bad, so I can't answer the question about body image. I'm sorry. I have serious body image issues myself, so I'm the last person who should be giving you advice on that. Because normally people are gonna say, love yourself. I am the biggest hypocrite, like, if I say that, so I'm not gonna answer that one. But lacking motivation and how you could deal with it. Honestly, thankfully, I've kind of never been that person. I do get to a point where I like kind of feel burnt out, but it always like comes back, my motivation. But KJ is someone who's really, really struggles with lack of motivation. And what he does is he makes he sets a goal for himself, and then has like a date of when he wants to reach that by, and then works towards that like that. And it's like if you don't do it, nothing happens, but if you do it, you get to reward yourself, if that makes sense. I feel like incentives are a huge thing. For example, even I do that as well. Let's say for example, I was just like stuck around 80k subscribers but still posting daily, and I was like, I give up, which I'm not, by the way, this is a hypothetical. My goal is to hit 100k and get that plug, because I feel like that is a massive deal, and it's a lot of hard work to get to that point, for someone who is not already famous, you know. So I feel like it is a very big deal, and that's my goal. And you know, if I don't hit my goal is to hit 100k before my birthday, which is June 16, and if I don't hit that, nothing happens. You know, I didn't hit it. But if I do hit it, I'm taking myself out. I'm going out for dinner, and I can't eat So going out for dinner is like, I'm gonna eat like one small trigger food and I promise you it'll be worth it. So yeah, I just want flavor. I can't believe we're 21 minutes in and I haven't even started doing my makeup. Sorry, this is gonna be the longest video ever. The next thing is, how was your childhood and do you have a story about it? My childhood was actually amazing. I have nothing bad to say about my childhood. I think everything happens for a reason. My parents had a bit of a rough time when I was becoming a teenager, but honestly, like, I feel like that going through what I did just made me a stronger person. And also I think about, if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't have moved to where I live now and I wouldn't have met KJ. So I truly think that everything happens for a reason. Also, if you didn't notice, I got a new concealer. And yeah, I had a really good childhood. I was pretty spoiled. Like, not a spoiled brat, like, I was given a lot and I'm super, super grateful for that. I also had a lot taken from me, but again, everything happens for a reason. I'm a super, super, super big believer in that. But yeah, I don't really have like a story about my childhood because it was just great. Like, I used to play games all the time on the computer. I was definitely a computer baby, like, born in that time where computers were becoming a huge thing and I was on one all the time, but didn't have a mobile phone until I was 12, which is still pretty young. It was a old Nokia. Okay, see, I feel like that just like brightened my face a little bit, just a little bit. So I'm just gonna literally put powder on that, just on those areas. The next thing is, how did you start becoming independent or start feeling like you're not a kid anymore? I'm in college and recently turned 19, but I don't feel like an adult or have any huge responsibilities like most of the people I know have, and I feel super behind on life. I still don't feel independent. I literally live in an apartment myself and I pay my rent and I do all that kind of thing, but I feel like I'm 15. Like, legit. I am not independent. I don't feel independent. I rely on KJ for a lot of stuff. He relies on me for a lot of stuff as well. But I feel like when I first moved out of home, I felt more of an adult, but not fully. So I moved out when I was 18, and I just like was staying where KJ was living. So it wasn't like formally moving out, but I formally moved out when I was 20, and I got this place that I'm in now, and it was a big scary change for me because I didn't know if I would be accepted. I didn't know how to even like get a place, and I was constantly told that I wouldn't be able to because I didn't earn enough money. Well, I did, I got it, and I think that everyone's path is different, and I think if you can stay at home comfortably, then stay at home comfortably for as long as you can. Save your money and move out when you feel ready. I feel like a lot of people are always at different stages. Like KJ and I live together. We have a lot of friends who still live with their parents. A lot of friends who, I don't know, like, live live in like massive share houses. Like, it's always different. Or friends that live by themselves. I find that I moved out because of the pressures of being at home. Because I dropped out of uni, I found that I was really uncomfortable because my parents were always like, you need to go to university. Their views have changed on that now. But at the time, it was just like a massive disappointment that I dropped out, and that reflected on myself as well. I was really disappointed in myself. Looking back on it, if I was to stay in university, I would have stayed at home, but because I didn't, I left because I was just uncomfortable. So yeah. Next. So I have been skinny my whole life, and everyone used to tell me how I had their dream body, but at that point in my life, I had a real problem with food, even though I was praised for my body. Now, when I finally eat normally, I had gained a lot of weight and my body changed. People started pointing out my weight, and now I feel insecure, and I'm afraid I will fall into the old habits just to get my old body back. Maybe it sounds a bit confusing, but do you have any advice? I can't say I've been there because I haven't been skinny my whole life. I've actually been chubby my whole life. But I somewhat understand, because when I was at my sickest point, I was really skinny, and to this day, everyone tells me that I looked amazing. And I look back and I'm like, that doesn't even look like me. So I'm gonna say that is your past self. And as you grow, you change. You know, like if I decided, oh my god, I want the body I had when I was 18, I'm never gonna look like that again, because I'm not 18, I'm 24 this year. So my body is, like, my hips have widened. I'm like a woman, you know, I'm a woman now. Everything has changed. Same with KJ, if he wanted to be the weight he was when he was 19, impossible. He's older now, he can't do that. So I think speaking on EDs is really, really hard. I personally have never had an ED, so I don't have any experience with it, and I don't know what it's like. I don't know what to say, to be honest. I just don't have that experience, and I feel like it's a very, very touchy subject. I think saying to just move on and ignore people is one of the worst things to say to someone, because you can't just not acknowledge how that person is feeling. So I'm not going to tell you to just move on, but I do think you should talk to maybe a professional about seeing how you can deal with that, because it is very scary to think that you are going to fall into your old habits again, when you're definitely beautiful the way you are. So yeah, I don't really know what to say. Okay, next question is your first time story. I think it's really interesting seeing how different it is for everyone. Okay, you guys, this hour is gonna be like, this video is gonna be like an hour long, so hope you are ready, because we are not even halfway through the questions. So, my first time. Let's get into it. My first time was when I was 16, and it was with my first boyfriend, and it was fine, kind of. We were very, very young. We both had never done the deed. We had never, ever, we were both virgins, and we both clearly had no idea what we were doing. And in my head, I had like built it up like, your first time is gonna be something so magical. It hurt so bad. The cramps I had the they gave me diarrhea. So bad. I don't even remember the actual thing because all I remember is what happened the next day when I was in pain. It hurt so bad. That's all I'm gonna say about my first time. Have you ever pulled an all-nighter? If so, then what did you feel like the next day? Yes, at nighttime it was so fun. The next day I felt disgusting. So bad. My body hated me. Next. Hey Jade, here are a few questions. First time story, just said it, kind of. How you deal with your period and Crohn's. Like, does it affect it? Period shaming, body shaming, how to deal with bad mental health, how do you stay motivated, do you have any celeb crushes, if so, which ones, how long have you and KJ been together, how to deal with the traumatic past and avoiding certain areas due to fear of seeing them. Love you so much as well. Okay, so where do I even start? How do you deal with your period and Crohn's? Does it affect it? Yes, it does affect it. So my period symptoms have always been cramps and period poops. So basically diarrhea. When you have Crohn's and that, it's not fun. I'm actually on my period right now, and it has been one of the worst periods I've had since being diagnosed with Crohn's. And yesterday, so if you guys don't know, I have setons, which are these little zip tie looking things that are inserted through my skin and my butthole, and they kind of keep everything open. Yes, I've had them in for about 2 years. They suck, but they are there to help me, and that's life. And I literally, if that doesn't like make sense in your head, I have 3 buttholes essentially. So when I go to the toilet, it's not just coming out the one hole, it's getting stuck and it's going through everything. So yesterday I spent like, I want to say like a good 6 hours on the toilet, not the whole 6 hours, just like in intervals, and it was so painful. So yeah, period shaming and body shaming is stupid. I shame that, like, it should not be shamed. Like, period shaming, we all get periods, literally every single one of us girls, like, we all get them. It's like natural. Don't understand when people period shame. Body shaming sucks. Like, literally fully understand what it's like to be on the other side of that. Like, ouch. How long have you and KJ been together? We have been together for 5 years. In November this year it'll be 6. How to deal with traumatic past and avoiding certain areas due to fear of seeing them. Honestly, I don't know. I don't really have too much experience with this, but I can say that I do avoid certain areas because I don't want to see it. I don't want to run into people. But I think that it's something that you grow and you give it time, and you might possibly get to a point where you can actually face it. However, that is not for everyone, and yeah, I'm not too sure. It honestly depends on the situation. What is the hardest part about having Crohn's disease, or what do you think is the hardest part? The part where you have no control over your body. That is the hardest part for me, personally. Does real love exist? Should I seek for real love when it comes to marrying someone someday. I don't know if people are gonna yell at me for this, but you do not have to get married to prove that you love someone. I basically consider me and KJ already married, but we're not married. I don't have an engagement ring. We're not. These are just pretty. I don't have an engagement ring. I want an engagement ring for sure, absolutely. But I don't. I'm a strong believer in you don't have to get married to show you love someone. And to answer the first question, yes, real love does exist. It isn't necessarily with in a relationship type setting, but if you're asking about that type of love, absolutely it does exist. How did you deal with growing up, particularly as a woman, like the transition from teenhood to adulthood? I turned 18 a few months ago and I'm struggling to handle this whole growing up process. Me too. I am still struggling with it. I honestly don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to your body, my body just keeps on changing. Like, your body will change forever, pretty much. I can't answer that question because I have no idea. I literally don't know. I feel you. I think from 18 to 24, what I experienced besides Crohn's and weight gain, was the way that my body just changed in general. Like, my face doesn't look the same as when I was 18. Like, everything is a lot wider, and not from fat. I mean, bone structure is wider. So yeah, I think that's your body just getting ready to hold kids or something. Cause I don't know. What is your first time period experience story? Okay, I was in school. I was in primary school, I think, or was it grade 7? I think it was 12. I think I was in year 7, so first year of high school, and I was at school, and I didn't really think anything of it, didn't know, but when I got home from school that day, I went to the toilet, and I remember I had these green zebra print underwear. Ew. Anyway, I pulled my pants down, and there was just blood, and I was like, Mom. And she came up running, and then knocked on the door, and I was like, Mom, I'm bleeding, I don't know what's happening, I don't even know where it's coming from, there's no cut, I can't find anything. And my mom just started laughing. She was like, oh, you got your period, here's a pad. And I was like, oh, okay. And that was that. How do you manage to be so motivated? I don't know, I think it's in the genes. I think if you love what you do so much, then you're doing the right thing, and just you will always stay motivated for that. If someone poked me in the eye while I was in a deep sleep at 3 a.m. and said, you need to get up and film, I would get up. What's the source of your mental strength? You guys. Literally, whenever I have to do something hard, I'm do it for them. That is how I kind of get through everything. Obviously I do it for my family and do it for KJ, but you guys are a massive part of my life. Yeah. Your opinion about women who pursue or prioritize their dreams and career, because I got a lot of pressure just because of being one of them. I came from an environment that still thinks women are supposed to get married and do nothing, and it really haunts and scares me whenever I want to open up. Oh, that is so old school. Such old school thinking. Just do what you want to do. Literally do what you want to do. And if they want to judge, rich, make your money and make your moves and let them judge. Wow. Seriously, I can't stand when people are like, just be a stay-at-home mom. Like, what if you don't want to? Sure, there are heaps of women out there who would love to do that. And I don't think that they do nothing. I think, they kind of balance an entire home life, and there's a lot of things they do, but I don't think that, I think it's stupid that you get judged for pursuing your dreams and your career. Like, if a man can do it, you can do it. So just do it. Is it hard with Crohn's when traveling, especially long distances, if you have ever done so? I have never gone anywhere since being diagnosed. My first trip will be Melbourne in the end of May, and I feel like that's going to be like a big test for me. I actually don't know how I would go overseas. I'm like terrified because healthcare and all that. Next, I recently started my first job, and was wondering whether you had any tips on saving money. I'm not the very best with maintaining it. I don't know how to save exactly, and how much should I set aside things for saving, such as uni and travels. Also, I'm an introverted person but would love to make friends at uni. Do you have any tips on how to approach people and make new friends? Thank you in advance. I'm going to answer that second question first because I don't have the best answer for this. I am a very introverted person as well. I might seem very like out there online, but that's because I'm sitting in a room by myself talking to a camera. Like, I'm talking to my phone. So I'm comfortable here. But being outside, I am extremely uncomfortable. I'm not very good at socializing. I tend to try and make jokes 24/7 to fit in, and I have about 3 friends in real life that I feel comfortable with. So I think my only advice to you is be yourself from the start, and don't try and be someone else to fit in, because you'll never be comfortable. Savings. Okay, so I can save, but I'm not the best at saving. For example, I can put aside, they say you're supposed to put 50% aside into savings. I personally, physically cannot do that. I save maybe like somewhere between 25 and 30% of my wage each week. And that's like putting money aside for travel and a house, or like whatever you like want to save for. That's just like that. As for saving for uni, I've never really had to do that because in Australia we have like student loans and stuff, so I never really thought about that. But you have to leave yourself some money for spending because you need to treat yourself. So they say 50% is the best, but if that's too hard, start at half of that. Start at saving a quarter. And put it in an account where you can't touch it, or if you do touch it, there's consequences. And that's easy to set up if you just go to the bank. Alright, I don't know why I just do my brows so bad. I'm gonna try to clean them up. Let's go, next one. If you have any tips on getting your very anxious significant other to open up a little bit, that'll be very appreciated. So, KJ didn't open up with me for a very, very long time. He was very anxious about being judged by me, even though I would never judge him. He just was like that from past relationships, and yeah. So I think like it's just a matter of time. Like you can't force it out. If you force it out, I feel like that makes them even more uncomfortable. You really, really should wait until they are ready, because you never know what they're actually thinking, you know. And I feel like they would constantly be under pressure, thinking about how you really want to know what's wrong, and because your intentions are pure, but they might not like understand that. Next is, if you could start a country from scratch, what would it be like? I actually don't understand this question. I replied to it and was like move to a country and start a new life, or literally run a country. And then someone else replied saying, I think they mean completely build and run a new country and have all your own rules. I don't know. I literally have no idea. I've never thought about it. I have never ever liked or been into politics. I don't know. The next question is, do you use a do you use a menstrual cup or use tampons/pads? I just want to know, since I have had amazing results with a cup and I made the switch about 10 years ago or longer, and I wish I would have known about them sooner because they are awesome. I actually highly recommend using a menstrual cup. I personally don't use them though, and that is because I wear padding every single day, so my period just goes into the padding that I already have for my butt, and using a menstrual cup would just be like a waste, considering I'm already wearing padding, so it's not very relevant to a lot of people. But if you are fine, I would highly recommend a menstrual cup. I've heard incredible things about them, so yeah. I literally wear nappies to sleep. Like, that's where I'm at in my life right now. Nappies. Any advice about negative/toxic relationships, from family relationships to significant other? If you can, leave. Doesn't matter if it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your auntie, uncle, whatever. Leave. There are much better people out there in the world. You do not need to be around toxic people. I know it's so easy to say and so much harder to do. It could take years. But just have a plan to get out of there and seek help. If possible. Hopefully it's possible. Advice on getting over your first breakup. Let yourself be sad. Yeah. It hurts so bad. Not even just your first breakup, any breakup. It hurts so bad. So let yourself feel your emotions. Do not ignore them. If you let them out, it's better for you. And try not to look at what they're doing on social media, because it might honestly just hurt you more. Especially because everyone gets over things in different ways, and also in different time frames. So I feel like it's super important to detox from them. And also keep busy. Start a new hobby. Make TikToks. Watch TikToks. Go for a walk. Make your favorite food. Just do something. It's super, super important to keep busy. Okay, I'll move on to the next question. This is a bit personal, but there is this guy long distance, or cut him off, or do nothing, let it be the same. Much easier said than done, but cut him off. You'll probably miss him, but what? As if he's gonna ignore you every 2 to 3 days? That is so rude. What the hell? Like, what's he doing for the 2 to 3 days? Like, yes, I'm sure he has, like, his life to live and stuff, but if he really wanted you to be a part of his life, he would reply during those 2 to 3 days. Like, what? That's really, red flags. Red flags everywhere. Not good. Not good. Oh, sorry, I'm not done with that. If you do not feel special, you are not with the right person. You need to feel like you, literally, like Rihanna said, only girl in the world. If you don't feel like that, that person is not, no, red flag, red flag. Okay, what is the status of menstruation in your life and society? Is it taboo? Is it considered shameful or talked about normally? Do you and your loved ones talk freely and normally about it? Have you ever struggled with menstrual poverty? Do you or anyone around you use any other names for menstruation? Yeah. Okay, so it's pretty normal here, actually. I feel like some people shame it, but that's because they suck. No, they just don't get it. Like, I don't know, that's very, like, old school and not, like, grow up. Like, everyone, oh, I just messed up my eyeliner. But yeah, like, grow up. Don't shame it. It's normal, and I don't get people that shame periods. Also, yeah, call it a period instead of, like, menstruation. I feel like menstruation is super formal. I think that all of my loved ones and myself talk about it, like, very freely. We talk about everything, to be honest. Like, I literally talk about the texture of my poo. They don't care. They just, like, so sorry, I didn't know that you didn't poo. Like, you know, everyone goes to the toilet. Yes, not everyone feels comfortable about it, but I think there's, like, a really unnecessary stigma around it, because everyone goes to the toilet, and it's really not that gross. Like, you eat and then you poo. That's it. Same goes with the period. Literally every woman gets it. So, you know. Next. I know most of these are really cringe, but I thought I could get some outside advice. How to tell someone you like them when you are really close friends and don't want to ruin the friendship. I don't know. Maybe tell them that. Just be like, I don't want to ruin the friendship, but I like you. I'm honestly not sure. I've never been in that situation before, but I feel like if they take it badly, then they're not really a good friend. I feel like they might be in shock in the beginning, but at the end of the day, if they come back to you and they're like, I don't like you like that, I'm sorry, then I guess you just have to move on. I hate saying move on, but I guess, like, you can't just keep pushing them, you know. But you won't know unless you tell them. Like, what if they like you back? closer to if you have both parents around. And I think that it's a good place to start, like having a closer relationship with your parent, or even if you have a sibling that you can talk to as well. And I think you just like pull one aside and you say like, hey, can we talk? Like I really like this person, I don't know what to do, and see what they say. Next is how to handle old men catcalling or staring in public. I usually ignore them, but sometimes I pull a face if they're getting like weird, like a weird face, or like act like I'm insane or something, because I just literally like why even, like why? But I'm definitely not a person to like start yelling at them and be like, what? Because I'm not, like, I'm too scared. A lot of the times I also pretend like I'm on the phone, so yeah. Oh my god, we're about to hit an hour, you guys. This video is going to take so long to upload. How to book a doctor's appointment on your own. I know I need to go, but my parents won't take me unless I book it over the phone, and I'm too scared. I literally have struggled with this for so long. So a lot of doctor places in Australia now are online, and you can book online, so if you have that option, I highly suggest it. But otherwise, literally call up, just call the doctor, and the receptionist will answer, and they'll be so nice, and they'll say, so-and-so clinic, like, how can I help you? And you'll say, hi, my name is, and I just need to book an appointment to see whoever your doctor is. Or if you don't have a doctor, just be like a female or whoever doctor, and they'll probably be like, sure, like, are you okay, like, what's this about? And then just give them a brief description of what you need, and like, you'd be like, I need to go on the pill, I've got a rash I need someone to look at. Yeah, and then you can just book it, and I promise you it's so much easier, and you'll feel so good after it's done, like, I promise. And that's coming from someone who has literally called to book a doctor's appointment for the first time this year at 23 years old. So I promise you it's not that bad. However, I cannot call the dentist. I can't. I'm so scared of the dentist. Okay, you guys, we are kind of actually, no, we're not. That just reloaded more questions. Okay, I don't know how I'll go with answering all of these, but let's just keep going. How did you find your makeup style / routine? I think it just took like a few years for me to actually get through and figure out like what suited me and what didn't. I think going through a lot of trends and stuff like that was really helpful, because I would follow trends and be like, wow, that actually like looks really good, or actually that looks really bad on me, I don't like it. And I feel like that's just like how I found what I liked. I need an inner corner highlight so bad. Where's that brush though? Okay, have you ever questioned your sexuality? Yes, I think a lot of people question their sexuality. I mean, I feel like it could change in the future, I don't know. I did think that I was bisexual, but I'm pretty sure that I'm straight. I think, like, I think I don't get attracted to women in the way that I'd be like, oh my god, like, I want to be with you. It's more like I'm attracted to women because I'm like, I want to look like you, or I want to be you, you know? So I feel like, yeah, I feel like I'm straight, like, sexually. I mean, considering I've got no libido, I'm pretty sure I just want, like KJ. definitely have questioned my sexuality, and yeah, I don't know, I feel like it can change. Do you have a female hygiene routine? This is a really good question because I've always been interested in this. I actually don't have like a routine that I would want to share. I just am not sure yet, you know, like I'm still looking around at other products and I don't want to give you guys any recommendations when I'm not sure myself. But I feel like female hygiene routines are like a massive thing and they're getting bigger, so there's more products coming. But yeah, I'm very sensitive, so I'm very careful of what I do down there. I have severe eczema, which is another autoimmune disease, and it's just so mentally and physically debilitating. I'm so insecure about the way I look and am so self-conscious of what others think about me. Any advice or words of encouragement? Talk about it. That's my advice. Talk about it and destroy the stigma around it, because that's what I do. People think Crohn's is the poo disease, and I talk about it and they're like, that's actually way worse than I thought. So people think eczema is just a rash. Just a rash. It's so much more than just a rash, and like you said, you're mentally and physically exhausted, and I think you should just talk about it. Destroy the stigma around it with the people that are around you, and yeah. I can't really speak on the way that you are self-conscious because I feel that. I feel it. I understand. And I don't know how to deal with it just yet, but one day I'll figure it out and I will share my secrets. Your favorite coming of age movies? My favorite coming of age, I love Wild Child. I could watch that a million times and it'd still be good. Like, you would hate to watch that movie with me because I'll literally just say every single line. Okay, you guys, some of these I'm going to start skipping just because there's so many questions and we're already an hour and 5 minutes in. So also some of these questions are not girl talk. So how do you feel when you're in hospital? Is it comfortable? I used to be really uncomfortable, but I think I've been there so many times now that I just know where everything is and I know what to do and I know that no one's actually judging me at all. So yeah, I feel comfortable in the hospital now. Tips on how to get over rejection. Girl, I'm a Gemini. I literally don't know. I swear I was rejected in like grade 11. Like before I had a boyfriend ever. I think I was like 15 or 16. And I'm pretty sure I was 15 turning 16 and I got rejected, and I swear I'm still not over it, so I don't know. I don't know. Can't believe I just said that online. It's so embarrassing, but yeah. How to get into self-care again. Some easy self-care things. Some things you like to do maybe. Tea. I'm a big tea drinker. Tea. Brush your teeth. Do a face mask. It can be a sheet mask, a clay mask, whatever. Just go and get a face mask. And wash your hair and blow dry it. I find that is like a big self-care thing. I feel so much better after I do all that. Someone asked for an embarrassing period story time. I actually don't have one, but I do have an embarrassing story that has to do with pee. So I'll tell you that. It's really funny, actually. I was like, how old was I? I think I was in grade 3, maybe 2. So I was like 6 or 7, and I needed to go to the toilet, but I was too scared to ask the teacher. But like, I had to go to the toilet to pee so bad, so I finally put my hand up and was like, can I please go to the toilet? And I waited so long to ask that the teacher was like, yeah, like, of course. And I don't know why I thought that they were gonna say no, but anyway, I got up, went to the toilet, and I sprinted. Like, I have never run so fast in my life, ever. I got to the toilet, went into the cubicle, and my button got stuck, and I couldn't get it undone. So I was in such a panic. I was so like anxious that I just peed myself in the cubicle stall with my pants on next to the toilet, and the toilet that was full. Like, the bathroom was full. There were girls in there, and I started crying, and I was like, can someone please help me? And then I was like, can someone please go and get a teacher? Like, I'm so, like, yeah. And someone got a teacher, and the teacher came in and was like, are you okay? I was like, I peed myself. I couldn't undo my pants. Like, I was so embarrassed. And I just think about the way that I fully did that to myself. Like, I didn't ask to go to the toilet because I was scared, and then I sprinted to the toilet, and then my button got stuck, and then, anyway, my mom had to come get me. Oh, I wish people could have seen my face, like, through the cubicle stool. I was so embarrassed. Literally didn't want to go to school for the next week after that. It was so funny. My crush likes me back. What do I do now? If you haven't already, tell them that you like them and maybe ask to hang out. Or if you don't want to hang out, do like a video call or something. What's your opinion on Photoshop? I actually love Photoshop. I use it all the time for work. Are you asking specifically about like editing bodies and like Facetune? Because that can be kind of bad, but I'm not gonna lie, I do use Facetune. Like, I love it. Like, I think it's a great editing tool. I think that there's an art to editing. However, I do feel like editing your body is kind of extreme, unless it's like, you know, there's a hair in front of the clothes or something and you want to kind of like hide that, or if there's like just like something that's like unflattering that you really like the photo but you just don't like that part. I feel like it's okay to like change that, but if you're like fully morphing your body into something else, I feel like that's kind of like, yikes. A lot of people do that. I have done that in the past. Can confidently say that I do not edit my body like so intensely, hectically anymore. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do the last question, which is, how do you deal with Crohn's? Do you ever get suicidal? Okay, so dealing with Crohn's, I feel like I've talked a lot in this video about dealing with Crohn's. Like, I feel like it's just something you have to do. People are constantly like, you are so strong, you are so brave. It's like, yes, I agree, I am both those things, but I don't want to be strong. I don't want to be brave. I'm tired and I'm over it, but I don't have a choice. I also, okay, the suicidal question, I feel like that's a very personal question. I am gonna answer it though. I don't think I've ever been like super seriously suicidal. I think being on the internet, I am very awareness, and like when something embarrassing happens, like people on the internet will like kill myself, like oh my god, I want to die, you know, that kind of thing. I feel like at that point, like when it's an unfortunate joke or a slang or something like that, which is obviously not okay, but I feel like a lot of people do it, I sometimes do that, and I don't ever mean it. I don't think I've ever been suicidal. Like as much as I sometimes might say like I hate my life when I'm in a flare or whatever, I actually love my life. So yeah, and I also don't think I could ever do that to myself or to anyone around me. I think it would be very, very I don't know what the word is. I just wouldn't do that to other people. I couldn't do it. I have been on the other side of that, and it's not. It's so much harder than you can even imagine, unless you've been through it. Then you know how hard it is. But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna end this video here. On that note, this is the longest video on my channel of just me rambling, so I hope you like rambling, and if you're still here, wow. I hope that you are asleep. I hope you are asleep, and I hope you're having the best sleep ever. So that is it. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. I hope that you feel comfortable here, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Thank you for watching. Bye guys. If you guys need to talk or anything, feel free to drop a comment in the description, in the comment section. We are all here for you. And also my DMs. I know it's getting hard for me to like get through my DMs, but like if you need to message me, go for it. I'm sure at some point I will get to it. Okay. And if I don't, I'm not ignoring you. I promise. I just haven't seen it. There's so many requests. It's just hard to get through them all. Okay. Thank you for watching. I'm actually going now.